You've been playing the wrong game, and I really want to show you how. Let me show you these books first. Before you click off this video, just let me just show you the books, okay? Just wait. Parallel Universes of Self by Frederick. If you don't want to watch this video, fair enough, but go and read the book. Outsmart in Reality by Knowledge, the best book I've read in 2026. It's just amazing. So many gems in these books. It's amazing. Best Loser Wins by Tom. Again, all these books, what they're teaching you is that you and I have been playing the wrong game. Really, truly. And I'll show you. I will show you. Just give me a second. And then everything that you read and you learn from these books is all found in those theological books, such as the Bible, Torah, Quran. All these books, they have the same, if not similar information, and they're all pinpointed to the same thing, that this life that we live in is not what we think it is. So, and I'll show you, just be patient. So before we go any further, because this is really, something that you need to take in, those that are prepared to receive the message I'm about to give, they will stick around. But those that are not, I know they're gonna click off, they're gonna go waste time, do something else. And that's okay, because we want people that are serious to actually pay attention to what I'm about to show you guys here. I really want you to lock in. This is serious. You need to lock the heck in. It's not about watching TikTok and scrolling 5 seconds. No. This is, you need to stay locked in. Anyways, cool. Grab a pen, some paper to make some notes, and if you want to type, you can drop them in the comment section. And please stay hydrated, because this is now a 2 minutes video. You need to see the vision. Okay, let's go. Right, reality is not a physical game. Yes, it sounds a bit confusing right now. I know you might think, whoa, reality is not a physical game, but there's a lot of stuff that people don't tell you. And the secret of this universe in which we live in, it's not hidden. You just haven't actually gone through them and discovered, because everything that we are about to talk, it is already within us. But let's be patient and let's see what we're talking about here. Reality not being a physical game, it really tells you something very important. It will help you understand that physical game, again, we live in a third world. We live in a third dimensional world. Therefore, everything feels like, ooh, okay, this is real. No. This is just, it's just a part of it. Okay. Right. How about this bit here, guys? Does that sound familiar to you? If that sounds familiar to you, please just say yes. And if this is you right now going through this cycle, just want to let you know that that's okay, that's normal. But from today, you won't be doing this. I'm telling you, this cycle will be broken. Okay? Most people, Monday morning gets here, the alarm goes off. Obviously, not many people are excited to go to work or to do whatever it is that they're doing in their life. They're waking up because survival. They need to go to work. They have to. They have no choice. That's not really exciting, is it? That's survival. That's like, bro, how are you gonna live if you don't go to work? I'm like, bro, trust me, we're gonna get there. You have to understand that not everyone is doing this. For example, this survival mode kind of vibes. Not everyone has to go through this, and you'll understand why. And I'm about to show you why. And maybe from tomorrow you stop doing this. This is what most people see sometimes, right? You look at some people, you see them at work, you're like, damn, man, this guy is doing well. He got a good job, nice car, got it together. That's what it looks like from the outside point of view. You can see like some people, you look at them, you can then attribute that they are doing well, they're amazing, and that's the kind of life I want. But sometimes we don't know how they're feeling, really, truly. And this is the part where a lot of people, even those ones that you think they're doing well, they're actually just exhausted. They don't feel fulfilled at all. They're stuck and they feel alone. I'm telling you, you just have to go beyond the physical realm. This is what most people are stuck, just the third dimension. Well, that's where we are now. It's just stuck on that pain, but it's just like, oh, physically looks good, but Life is beyond that, isn't it? So, if these people have good salaries, stable career, nice apartment, friends, and the friends that you know and people that you know think really well of them, why do they feel so empty though? Think about it. A lot of people have all these things out there as an example, and they feel just as unfulfilled as those that don't have it, which is crazy, right? So this is me, by the way, and I have to say though, life is beautiful. The more you read, the more you understand the secrets of the universe, which is pretty much all spilled in the Bible, honestly. Jesus talks about this whole thing anyways. But I did have everything that society told me I should want, literally everything. And for some reason, I felt stuck. And this was me, by the way. This is it. Like, I'm happy working for them, one of the biggest bank in the UK, nice apartment, people looking at me and saying like, wow, Bruno, you? Wow, okay, voila. Hey, bro. Life is interesting. That's me, by the way. But one of the things that you will discover eventually once you start looking to more data and so on and so forth. Excuse me. Give me a second, please. So, when you start looking at the data and you start questioning people around you, maybe not, or friends, colleagues, you start seeing a lot of people are pretty much not happy. Even when they go to work, there's just they hate it. Let me just simply put it. I know they said disengaged. They just hate it. They don't like it. But like I said, survival. You gotta do it regardless, right? That's one thing. And 44% of them, they experience stress every day. I feel like that's most people, to be honest. And we got a small chunk there, 25% of people that feel like they are, striving in life. And those are the people that are trying to climb the corporate ladder to get to a point where they're like, you know what, this is not it. But hey, just saying, again, please make your notes, do your own research. As just from saying, the books I mentioned, including the Bible or the Torah or the Quran, just they mention and they talk about the same things, just in different ways. But what if the problem is in your job, your money, or your relationship? And that was a hard question for me to answer initially, because I thought, for me, it was one of those things. And I thought to myself as well, oh, could it be the country I live in? By the way, I'm based in the UK, so I thought to myself, it must be the country. There's no way I have all these things here. And I still feel unfulfilled. I still feel stuck. I still feel miserable. I still go to work and think to myself, is this really, is that it? Is that it? Is this what I'm going to do for the rest of my life? Those questions, they don't have to pop into your head every day, but damn, there's some days you wake up in the morning, Monday morning, you think to yourself, God, I have to go to work. Yes, you have to go to work. But this is part of life, What if the problem isn't that? What if the problem is the fact that you've been playing the wrong game, right? I know I keep on saying the wrong game, but again, this is going back to always thinking that reality is a physical game. What if the problem is that you've been playing the wrong game entirely? What if that's the problem? What if that is a problem? So here's the game that everyone plays, and I feel like most people love that. And I know you're gonna say, oh yeah, well, this is it. Just hear me out. Just hear me out. The reason why I keep on saying, and I will say again, that the reality is not a physical game is because of this. See, on the left hand side here, guys, everyone is playing the same game. The corporate ladder. Everybody trying to climb as high as they possibly can. And when it comes to materialistic stuff like car, everyone wants the nicest car that makes the loudest noises. When it comes to apartment, it's the same thing. People want the fanciest houses, the fanciest apartment, the fanciest everything. The job title, and of course social media, as you guys know, you guys know about social media, right? Them not even say too much about it. They want to have the highest number of followers. You get the gist, and the number of likes, etc., etc. But this side here, the right hand side, this is actually how the game is played. And everything will make sense, right? But once you understand this whole thing, just I want you to be patient. I want you to make notes. I want you to listen clearly and very careful. Just take your time, okay? The game is actually played that way. And this is some example, like the mind, the heart, identity, frequency, and faith being more important here, because that's literally the biggest thing here. So we're gonna move forward. Let's see how this whole thing makes sense, okay? I will show you guys, but just remember, this is what I've explained, the salary, the car, the apartment, but here is actually how the game is played. The mind, the heart, your identity, the frequency, which means the energy that you walk with each and every day, and of course your faith, because without God, you have nothing. So let me show you what I mean. So, rule number one is this: reality is not a physical game, it's a mental game. And I will give you guys more details, but make a note, please. Write in your note, reality is not a physical game. It is a mental and, I'll show you a bit more. It is a mental and spiritual game. And this will make sense in a bit, but again, just remember that rule number one that you guys need to remember right now is that reality is not a physical game. Excuse me. There are lots of stuff that Jesus came to earth and he was talking a lot about us not being too preoccupied with the stuff that we see in the outside world. By the way, I'm paraphrasing here, but I want to find a quote, I'll put it on the screen so you can see it. But Jesus does mention that for us not to be too occupied with the stuff that's happening in the world, the thing that we can see, but really, truly be transformed by the renewing of our minds. Bro, I'm telling you, everything is in the Bible. Even these books I mentioned, guys, everything is, Jesus has been teaching us since day one. Okay, so if reality is not a physical game, what is it then? Well, this is the order, right? Spiritual, mental, and physical plane. These are very important things for you to remember, because if you think about anything that we have on this earth, any physical object, anything, chair, the laptop I'm doing my video right now, you have to understand that everything starts from a mental plane. The mental plane in this case is the cause. The cause, just to help you guys understand what the cause is, everything that we have on this earth stems from a thought. A thought will drive an emotion. That emotion will have a cause, will have a reason, and that cause is what makes you create physical stuff. That's why we start creating things out here. But remember, I just want you to remember this simple rule: reality is not a physical game. It is a mental game. Everything stems from here first. Everything starts here first. And I'm sure you understand exactly what I mean. So, mental game being the cause. So, because the cause is here and how you look at things all here, the effect, which is the physical world, is the way when you're looking at stuff out here, this is our effect of what's happening here. That's why two people can look at the same thing and have two different interpretations, because the cause is here and the effect is the outside thing we see, the physical plane, as we call it. And this is not my own. This is not me making things up, me telling you about this. All I'm saying is I've learned these things from the books. Okay? Jesus mentioned that. It's all from the book. I'm not here to claim this is how you should do it, this is what it means. No, I'm not making nothing up here. All I'm saying is, based on what I've learned, this is what I've learned. This is what I'm showing you. Excuse me. So, spiritual, emotional, mental, this is where everything stems from. Everything starts from that point. This is the cause. This is why we're here. Okay? And the physical plane is what gets created as part of the effect. Okay? Let's break it down a little bit more so you guys can understand it. In the simplest form, this is what I'm trying to say. 98% of the people, as you guys know, play the game this way. If I do this, I will have A, then I will be happy. If I do this, I'll have that, then I'll be happy. You see, do, have, be, it's a concept I'm sure you've heard before. Doesn't sound like much, but really truly it kinda makes sense, because when we talk about doing, we're literally talking about what? The physical stuff. More work. That's why people that work so hard, they still just broke, for example. Or they doesn't mean much in the physical world, right? Hey, don't say not do no work. I'm saying just bear with me, please. Whereas the 2%, they play the game in this exact order: spiritual, mental, and the physical. That's why we have be, do, have it. I'll be it, then I'll do it, then I'll have it. I'm gonna give you some examples that you guys can look into it and see if it makes sense, okay? Let's just be patient with the things here and we'll see. We need to start from B. That identity is powerful. And if you remember the stuff that I mentioned here, the mind, the heart, identity, frequency, and faith, these are things that are very, very important, guys. So most people try to start the button, to have something, to do something, then become this person. The winners, like it says here, they start at the top. So this is what you see, right? At the top, if you can see above the yellow line, is the action, resource, money, the numbers, and all that stuff. Like all this stuff is crazy. It's great, of course. These are the results. This is the effect. 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 I think it's effect, actually. But if we look at what we're talking about here, the cause is the mental plane, and the effect is what people see in the outside world. It's like, oh wow, this guy has a job, they have this. But what is creating this whole thing is the belief, the emotion, the identity, the person they are, the frequency, the energy, the way they walk, and most importantly, subconscious mind, subconscious programming, how everything is programmed over there. Because if that program is wrong, you will look at things the wrong way anyways. So make some notes and remember this, please. Very, very important. I'll show you guys how you can get to this level, but bear with me, please. So let's ask yourself this question, please, because that will be very, very good way of understanding where you are right now in your life. And please, there's no rush. We're here to go through this and make it work for all of us, okay? On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm sure this is 10 or 11, where you are here, just pick a number, literally. Just have a look. This is the low frequency side, as you guys can see: fear, doubt, scarcity, survival, which is most people still operating at a level. And then we have the right hand side, clarity, conviction, abundance, creation. And you need to ask yourself, which station are you really on? Just make some notes and think about it. But this is another thing that I feel like it'll be very important for you guys to kind of understand the power of the mind. It is insane, but I'm sure most of us have heard of the placebo effect, right? It is just insane. But anyways, guys, if you look at these studies, I won't go through all of them at your own time. Please go on Google these studies so you can understand how the mind can play tricks sometimes, and because the mind is so powerful, it can pretty much adjust anything that we see in the world. But this is something for you guys to look into, the science behind it, okay? Okay, so this is might be a new concept to some of you guys. I want you to be very open-minded here, really, really open-minded, because it requires that. So reality being a mirror, what we're talking about here is that you are the universe. The universe is you. You are God. God is you. It's all one thing. But because people often refuse to understand this concept, I will say this way. If you think about the people that are negative in your life, as an example, the very negative people, and then in regards to that, what tends to happen in their life is that they tend to have negative experience. I don't want to go too far. I don't want to go into too much details. What I'm trying to say is your energy, your frequency, wherever you're operating on, wherever you are, I should say, will be reflected back to you. The universe operates this way. That's it. It's just this way. If you're this, you get that. If you're that, you get this. Okay? It can only reflect who you are, what you are. Nothing to do with what you want. It's more like what you're putting out there into the world. I might give a different example actually. Let me use this example as to why the reality is a mirror. If you look at yourself in the mirror, trust me, that mirror won't smile before you do. You have to smile before the mirror smiles back at you. That's probably the easiest analogy I can explain about reality. The mirror will only smile if you do smile. It's a reflection. It's really, truly, that's what it is. So when you smile at that mirror smiles back at you. Trust me, that mirror cannot smile before you do. So wherever you put out there, you will get it back. Hope that makes sense. But let's carry on. I hope that makes sense, guys. Please take a break, drink some water. Be serious here, man. We're going through this. Okay. Right. Okay, so most people, when they want to change their life, which is totally fine, they think about changing this stuff here on the right hand side, their money, relationship, career, you know, it happens, you know, we're human beings, we're learning, you know, the secret of the universe is out there, but some of us are learning, so it's okay. So we need to stop changing the effect. And just to help you guys again understand what's going on, I'll just quickly go back here. See that there? Mental plane is the cause and physical plane is the effect. I keep on saying effect for some reason, and I do apologize for that, by the way. It's not effect, it's effect. And then this is what I'm talking about, right? See this belief, emotion, identity, the things that you are creating and what you see as a result. So this is the same. So the things below the yellow line is your cause, and the things above the yellow line, as you can see, your action result is your effect. Okay, so let's go back here. Right. If you want to get to that state, well, I just showed an example, you need to change your cause. You cannot change an effect with an effect. It makes no sense. For you to change the effect, you have to change the cause. This here on the right hand side, on the left hand side, is your cause, your mind, beliefs, identity, emotion, frequency. Some people have strong beliefs about certain things, and some people have certain way of thinking. If you want to attract abundance, for example, you can't be in a scarcity mindset, as an example. You can't have that. Okay? You need to change the causes so you can change the effects. All right? So if you change your mind, belief, identity, emotion, frequency, you automatically change your reality. You change your money, your relationship, your career, your wealth, your health, etc., etc. And I'll show you. I have examples, trust me. Okay, so there is a thin line between what you want and what your subconscious mind have been programmed as. You know what I mean? And sometimes it feels a bit weird because you're like, oh, I want this, and then you fight for it, you get to it, and then most people, which is the hardest thing, they get to a point in life where they want to get something, like, let's say, make more money, as an example, or get fit into the gym. Let's use fitness here. But because their self-worth is still underneath that, and their subconscious mind is still not well programmed to become a fit person, what they tend to do, what tends to happen to them, they simply just go back into what they were before. So what you want is at the top of your self-worth, but because your subconscious mind believes you deserve less, you probably just end up reaching what you want temporarily before you go back into just where you are. And your subconscious mind always pulls you back because this is what it knows you to be. So it's like, bro, you're making a lot of money now. Let me take that money away. Oh, you're getting really fit. Let me make sure you go and become unfit again. Hey, your subconscious mind is powerful. But again, make some note, and I'll give you an example of what happened in my life so you guys can see what's going on. So I started trading about 8 months ago now. I started trading about 8 months ago, which was amazing thing. It's just something new to do. I made 1.5k in a week, right? Really, truly, and it was great. But because my subconscious mind has an associate making that much money in a week, I went and I gave all that money back to the market. I was like, yo, take this money. This is too much. I don't know how is it like to live a life where you make 1.5k in a week. I make 1.5k in a month, if not longer. So now making a week, it felt weird. So this is what I'm talking about, your self-worth and the things you want. Exactly what I'm trying to say. I wanted to make money. I did make the money because my subconscious mind believes that I don't deserve that money, because that's how I looked at myself. And then it's just, I put that money back. I went back and reverse trade, did some other stuff, and the money gone. So it wasn't my skill problem, it was my self-worth. And I see myself that I don't deserve to make 1.5k in a week. I deserve to make £200 in a week, or maybe less. That's crazy, but that's how the subconscious mind and the mind play games. Really, truly. Just remember, I'm serious. This is a, a quote from the Bible. If you guys want to go ahead and read Proverbs, as you know, Proverbs is a book full of gems. Really, really good stuff in Proverbs. It's like an amazing book. And as a man think in his heart, so it is. Whatever it is that it's happening with you here in this heart, in your mind, so will you be that. You will be that, really, truly. So, but it's pretty accurate. Have a look and you understand what I mean. So if your reality is a mental, not physical game, then how do you actually change it? Very good question. Let's make some notes. Let's write this down. And really, truly, you will understand it as soon as I show you. So there are 3 shifts you have to do starting today. Like I said, by the time you finish this video, you should be able to live a different life. So yeah, so this is how you stop playing the wrong game, guys. Number 1, it is, before I go into this, right? So change your identity before you change your action. This is crucial and it's very important, and it's the reason why a lot of people are not consistent. And I'll tell you why. This is crazy, right? So a lot of us, tend to say, oh, I'm very consistent with this, I'm very consistent with that, I'm very disciplined in life. But because consistency and discipline will get you that far, which sometimes it works temporarily, right? And I'll use the fitness example because it's a great one. You tend to return to where you start initially because you haven't had that identity shift, identifying yourself as a fit person. So someone who's not really identified himself as a fitness guy, as an example, by the way, they will start gym with a friend, as an example, and they will become very consistent, very disciplined, and they can see that they're making change. They can see that they're looking good, they feel good, or whatever the case might be. But because they only change the effect, right, and they're so quickly like doing the physical work, remember the rule is be, do, have it. Eventually, what happens to those individuals, whether it's a month, a year, or however long it takes, they eventually go back to their old identity. Their old frequency pulls them back. And then you look at those guys, you ask them, whoa, what happened to you? You've really gained weight. Like I thought you were, this fit guy. And it has all to do with identity. They'll tell you like, oh yeah, this happened, I moved out, and then, I stopped going to the gym. No. Identity. If you want to change anything in your life right now, today, guys, make sure you remember this. Change your identity before you change your actions. And the action was going to the gym, do it really well, but as soon as they didn't really identify themselves with that, they just went back to old ways of being. I'm telling you, this is not rocket science. I'm sure you have seen this with your friends, but hey, I'm just saying, it's important. But let's move on. This is me, by the way. I'm using my personal example because some of the stuff that I used to do. I love I love starting new things, right, guys? So I was starting things, but never finishing them. I had 200 projects. 200 projects. Crazy. I had 20 projects. I used to say I'm not a money person. I used to say I'm bad with money. I'm not the type to go out to do this, enjoy life. No, 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 no. This is crazy, but that was my way of looking at life, you know what I mean? And you realize that life is way more than that. So you don't change your habits, you change who you are, and the habits will follow you. And a good example there is, even though I read Atomic Habit, which was very useful, you eventually go back to being to the old you. So your identity needs to really shift. And that's what happened to me. I shift my identity. Everything that start now, I always finish. I wake up early. I'm in the gym every morning. You can check my Instagram. You can see that I'm there in the morning, 6 a.m. I'm working out, bro. It's just different vibes out here. And now making money in terms of what I was thinking, it's like, oh, I need more money, I need to do this and to do that. No, no. Money's coming to me. I'm not fighting it. It's just coming. Really, truly, the money is coming. Anyways, this is crazy, but that's what happened, guys. Identity shift. Let's move on to what happened to me. So, because I had this problem where I start thinking, if I finish 1 hour and 15 minutes, I was someone who quit everything. Then I decided no more. Be, do, have it. Identity shift. I look at myself as a runner. And in 10 weeks, I trained for half marathon. And that's the time I got 1 hour and 50 minutes. I got my medal right there. I said, I can do anything. I'm looking at myself as a runner. I wake up, I run, I eat. I'm a runner. I see myself as a runner. That identity came before the result, and that is very, very important. I'm a runner, and I still run, and I'm running still, bro. That's how you should do it. Change the identity, not just the actions. Very important. And I hope you guys are making sense. Making notes, I should say, because that's important. Now, this is probably one of the hardest things, but hey, feel the emotion before reality proves it to you. And for the marathon example, for example, this is really good because I was already in that emotion of, I got this, I can do it. So you have to ask yourself questions like, how would you feel if you were to finish a half marathon? And then you have to work backwards. So what do you want? What emotion would you get if you give it? What emotion would you give it? What emotion would they give it you right now? So you need to feel that emotion now so that your reality, your frequency can match it, right? Your reality match your frequency, which means the energy, by the way. And for the marathon, what I did was I had to see myself, as, yo, I'm a runner. I run. So when you start doing your 5Ks, you get this emotion, feel good. It's like, oh, I can do 5K in 20 minutes now, or 25 minutes. Then you do your 10Ks, you start feeling better and better and better. That emotion is what I carried with me each and every day, and which what made me get to where I want. But because I was already seeing myself as, I'll smash it. I'm like, I'll smash this run. Why? Because I can run 1 kilometer, I can run 2, I can run 3, I can run 5, 10, 15, I can run 21 for sure. Emotion. I was just feeling. When you get a medal, how would you feel? Oh man, I feel proud of myself. I feel great. So I start feeling those emotions before I even got the medal. Does that make sense? Anyways, so most people, like, you don't want the money, you want the security, right? And the money is a good example because a lot of us go through that. A lot of us go through this idea of, let me work really, really hard because I want the money to buy a new house. And no, really, truly, it's great, but we want the money because of security, right? One as an example. So you want to feel, with whatever you have right now, that sense of, I've got this. Security, yeah, I'm okay. The caveat is, most people want things to happen quickly, and the Bible mentions that if you are grateful with what you have and you show that gratitude and you know that those who have more will be given abundance. As I'm saying, it's important to read these books, to read the Bible, to understand what's going on, because a lot of these things is just a mental game. And all of a sudden, when you see and you appreciate what you have, you start attracting more and more, because you can never chase anything you don't have, because you already have everything. If you're chasing money, that means you don't have, and the universe will reflect that back to you, because it will just reflect. You start chase, You want to run away from you, because that space between you and what you want is a massive gap. You need to collapse that gap. You need to tell the universe, I don't really need money. This is a mental game, by the way. Don't talk about physically here in the world. No, like mentally, you walk around, it's okay. You spend here and there. You can't have a scarcity mindset, right? A scarcity mindset when it comes to money, and expect abundance when it comes to money. You just cannot have those things. You need to either think like that, gratitude, abundance, as if you already have it. Love attraction. Same thing with relationship. You don't just want a relationship. You want to feel cherished. You want to have a companionship. You want to feel loved. But first, you need to feel it yourself. You need to feel loved by yourself. You need to feel cherished by yourself. You need to have all these things within you first before the world can prove it to you. It's very important. Sounds simple, but I'm telling you, these are life-changing things, bro. I'm saying to you, bro. So frequency and a lot of stuff that's happening in life. So you need to imagine yourself as a radio tower, right? You're always broadcasting frequency, by the way. That's why when you attend the radio station, right, you can listen to same music, news, whatever the case might be, and then you change to a different station, you hear a whole different thing. It's the same way you are, mate. Change your station, you will then change the reality you receive. You just have to change your station. What you're looking for, it already exists, and these books, oh my goodness, the parallel universe of self is literally talks about that. It's just different station. What you want, it already exists, and Jesus also mentioned the same thing. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. You've got it all. That's why God wants you to shine the light, show others what you've been given. Come on. All right. Now, this is the most interesting part, right? Which is crazy, but unfortunately, you cannot remove what you can't see. Get it? You cannot remove what you can see. And in the Bible, Jesus talks a lot about, paraphrasing again, those who have ears, let them hear. Those who have ears, let them hear. And you think to yourself, like, I mean, you need to read the actual Bible and understand some of the things that, like, all this concept also comes on these books, where it's like, if you can't see the blocks, how are you going to remove it? But anyways, shift number 3 you need to make, you need to remove those blocks, the one you cannot see. And you can do that by reading. Self-awareness is probably the best thing you can do. You need to be so self-aware of yourself that you can then extrapolate these blocks. You can remove them one by one, okay? Excuse me. So, okay, so, I mean, it's easy for us to beat ourselves up. I mean, it's easy for us to blame things around us and so on and so forth, which is, again, it still is blocks that we can't see sometimes, right? And sometimes it's not like because we're slow, we're just carrying weight we didn't choose. Sometimes it's just life the way it is, right? It really is just that. It's just the way life is. You know, you have other people's belief. You start growing up, you're a kid, someone will tell you, oh, you're a man, you can't cry. You don't do this, you're a man. It's like, okay, shit, fair enough. And then you have all these failures that happens in life. And then you have this identity from childhood when your parents are like, oh, you're going to be a great scientist, mate. You're going to be great. And you think to yourself, yeah, I'm going to be a great scientist. And there's a lot of people, by the way, with an imposter syndrome, which is crazy. But again, fear of success is probably what's stopping most people, including myself. I put my hand up. That fear of you being black, you're just supposed to be this way. That's it. You can't be successful, mate. It's like, what? Yeah, but it's true. That's like what these ideas get to your head, and then we start have this ceiling, right? Where our self-worth, we put it to be this high only. So we can achieve something, but we know like, okay, this is it. Anything more than that, we start thinking, whoa, this is too much. This is too much. But what we need to do, we need to drop those weight and see what happens, guys. And unfortunately, to remove mental blocks, it takes practice, it takes time. And here's something you can do each and every day, which is basically visualizing once you identify, by the way, once you identify any of these things here, right? Once you identify it, you need to go through that, practice, literally be still, get into that meditative state where you be more calm in the silence, and you can try to rewrite your ways of thinking or ways of seeing things, but you need to get your level into that very, very nice mellow theta sort of speaking frequency, really. You just want to be really like not dreaming, not sleeping, just enough so you can go into your subconscious mind or even your conscious mind and start making those alterations, because you need to regenerate those feelings. And you need to visualize it, you need to feel that, you need to see people saying to you like, oh, you're worthy of success, you are greater than this, you will have all these amazing things. You need to see someone that you are familiar with. It could be a family, it could be a mom, dad, siblings, and then depending on what's happening in this bracket here, you can make those changes. But it's possible, trust me. I've done it. You just have to remember that things in life, it happens. You just have to be patient with it. Okay. So now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely is that you will get what you want next month? Think about it. How likely is it that you're going to get what you want next month? Next month, by the way, is August. So, where are you on the scale of 1 to 10? Obviously, if you have anything below 8, then that means your conviction is not there yet. But that's fine, but you need to build that. Conviction, guys, and you guys know, is that I know it. I'll show you an example, actually. This is a great example about conviction. So when you walk into your room, to your house, when you go ahead and flick the light switch, do you wonder whether it will work or not? Do you really wonder it? Or you just know it will work? You don't even think about it, you just know it will work, and you go ahead and flick that switch, the light switch, and then boom, on. That's your conviction, and that's the frequency you need to be operating on moving forward. It will work. You know it, you feel it. God is with you, man, don't worry. Okay, you already have everything you need. By the way, this is not me saying that. This is it's in the Bible. It talks about us having everything we need. God has already given us. Jesus said, hey, here's all you need. But guess what that thing is? It's all within us. But so it's all within us, and that means we have to work, to look at, spend more time working within, understanding, as above as below. The Bible says everything, man. Even the prayer that Jesus taught us, like the Our Father prayer, it talks about as in heaven, as it's on earth, as above as below, as within as without. It is the same thing. Like, there's no difference here. But hey, so much to learn, guys. But let's take one thing at a time. Make some notes, please. I want you to remember that you already have everything you need, because God has given us everything we need. So the only thing between you and your life is the belief that something's in the way. The only thing between you and the life you want is the belief that something's in the way. Tough. So this is me. 6 years ago, I was at a bank, top 4 biggest bank in the UK. Good salary, but I was just unfulfilled. So what I did, I had a lot of debt for some reason, because of fear of failure. Fear of success. But thank God, I cleared that debt. I went ahead and ran my marathon. I started coaching, and I lost my job, because everything I needed, it was already within me. You just have to open your eyes. But then again, eyes are open to interpretation. So yeah. But I don't know these things, by the way. Clearing the debt, running the marathon, starting coaching, leaving my job. I did this mainly because I stopped asking for permission. I stopped asking for, hey, can I eat this burger? Oh, can I go over there? Can I do this? Can I live my life? Can I just live the life that God gave me? And that's when everything just click, because everything you need is already there. But I hope it makes sense, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a long one, but these are for people that are serious and they want to make notes and they change their life in a way that they haven't thought about them before. So I really hope this has helped you guys a little bit. I mean, even if one person, says this or thank you, something in the comments, that will mean a lot. Then I can come back here and make more visual ideas to help one person. So please subscribe, send this to a person who needs to hear it. Please, again, explain to them this is a long video, but hey, there's so much more to learn. But anyways, for those of you guys that want to go deeper, please, if you're in Manchester, UK, come through. I do run a roundtable event bi-weekly, and I talk about this, but in person. I talk about this whole thing I just told you guys in person. So if you're in Manchester, UK, come through, and yeah, you get to meet us. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, just DM me ready on my page at BASZO_UK, and I will catch you there. Well, remember, reality is not a physical game. It never was, okay? It never was. But thank you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will catch the next one. And please subscribe, and see you soon. Take care. Bye.